Well, we're in Mr. Diesel 335's garage right now, and I have a project I would like to work on. You're looking at a carburetor off a 1945 Farmall H, and it has a problem. Over the years, ever since I had the tractor, since like October of '07, I've always had a problem with it, with this carburetor. So, I'm pretty sure it has to deal with the float system, because I'm pretty sure every time the tractor wouldn't start, gas would always flood out of this little hole, which is at the bottom of the air horn, which is like deep in there. That's where the gas was coming out. I want to see if I can find out why it's doing that. I'm pretty sure it has to deal with the float assembly. So what we're going to do is, we're going to split this carburetor. We're going to take the top off with this part by taking this screw along with those and that screw. We're going to take those 3 screws out and see what we get. Here are the 2 tools that I'm going to need to get those 3 screws out. A pair of pliers and a really big screwdriver. So, let's see what we can do here. Alright, let's do it. There's the big old carburetor. Let's see if we can get the 3 screws out. I have to use the pliers to break it loose, since they're so tight. I tried before, and I couldn't get them loose with the screwdriver. I almost stripped them. I don't want that to happen. They're all 3 of them are loose. I'm going to spin them off with the screwdriver. Okay, all 3 screws are out. There's your float. Now one little problem. The needle is stuck. We tap it. There. It's stuck again. I need to pop the float out, see what happens. Okay, let's get it out. Use pliers and yank it out. Yeah, got it. Now here's the float, a good brass float. Here's your pin, it's kind of mangled. Now here's the needle, the main part for the float valve. It looks pretty clean. Got a rubber tip for sealing it. Now let's see if we can get the main needle, let's see if we can get the seat out. With a 7/16 socket, it should be easy. Okay, the seat is out. As you can see, it looks alright, but I'm gonna dig into it. Now here's the needle and seat put together. I gotta figure out why it sticks like that. The main reason, I think, is because the rubber, sometimes I think it's jammed in the little hole up there and prevents gravity from releasing it. But from the weight of gasoline, that shouldn't be a problem. Okay, let's focus with the bowl in the jet. Now, if you look closely, you can see the little hole that I was talking about. You can barely see it. And well, there's the main vent hole for the bowl, and it vents gasoline down to right there. I don't think you can see it. And then with the choke open, okay, the choke plate's open. And what I'm assuming is the problem. The problem is when the when the gas is full in the carburetor, the float has a flaw in it and prevents it from closing, and gas keeps coming in. I'm pretty sure it leaks into the vent hole, then into the air horn, and then drips out that hole. So that's what I'm pretty sure what the problem is for this carburetor. Now we just gotta figure out what to do. Okay, let's get the needle and set back into the main body of the carburetor. Now, let's drop in the main needle. Okay, that was kind of easy. Time for the float itself. Okay, the float assembly is back in. Well, since I now know the problem, and I pretty much know how to fix it, now what I'm pretty much going to want to do right now is see if I can reassemble the carburetor from the bottom up. Starting with the main body, putting the venturi back in. I have no clue why these things are removable, these venturis. I'm not sure why. So let's put them back in. Well, that was pretty easy. Now the tricky part, getting the top half dropped onto the bottom half without damaging the float. That's gonna be a challenge. Okay, I got the top half back on to the bottom half. Now let's see if we can get the bolts started. Now, to get them started, I need a battery, some wires, and a starter. Just kidding. All I need is my fingers. They can do this. Okay, carburetor is reassembled. That was pretty simple. That was a simple job. Now, this is the main gasket that goes right here to screw into the manifold. We built it, we made it ourselves out of gasket material that we bought. That's what I like doing that, making gaskets. Now let's see if we can reassemble it onto the tractor. That's going to be a pain. Well, I've made it to the tractor. It was not easy. It's an agonizing walk from my house. I've made it with the tools and the carburetor. Here's your manifold, the intake, choke, fuel, and the throttle linkage. Now I'm going to see if I can get it in. It's not going to be, this isn't going to be that easy. Because this bolt right back here and this rear bolt to the manifold, that's going to be tough to reach. First, the throttle linkage. It's going to be a little bit pain. Hey, I got one bolt started, so now the carburetor's levitating. Okay, I got both started. So now I can tighten them using my good flathead screwdriver. Okay, that's done. The most difficult part is right about to come. Getting it on the manifold. Okay, well I got it. Got it started. Now time for the other bolt. Okay, well I got both nuts started. Now time to tighten them down. It's gonna be pretty easy. Okay, carburetor is on and bolts are tightened. A few more things. Gotta hook up the choke linkage. Gotta get the air intake on, get the fuel line on. And that's a pretty easy thing. Start with the fuel line. Okay, the job is completed. Carburetor is on. All the linkage are hooked up. All the hoses are hooked up. And we're all done. The job overall took about half an hour. Wasn't that bad. Now time to go in and enjoy some hot coffee. Goodbye. You're looking at a 12-volt battery with a small adjustable wrench on it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can start up my Farmall H after the carburetor rebuild. So I'm going to slip the battery in onto that little bracket, hook up the wires, and let's see what's going to happen. Alright, let's do it. Okay, battery's in. Okay, let's see if this thing starts up after the rebuild. And we'll be okay. There we go. Okay, we are running great.